20-0 on multiple accounts every single week using the 4-2-2. Quick disclaimer. Putting tactics on will not make you the best player in the world. I always tell you guys this, but rather understanding the formation, learning the patterns, the strengths of the formation, adapting it to your play style, because we do not all play the same. Today, I'm going to show you all the little things, why this formation is super viable, and how to maximize results. If you just want the tactics, feel free to skip ahead. But for those of you guys that want to learn, I'm going to show you all the little things, why I use certain instructions, what I'm looking for when I attack. And so to get into it, why do I like this formation? Gives you space to attack. As you saw in this clip and the one we're seeing right now, win the ball, quick outlet pass, and we're able to transition from defense to attack very quickly. In the first two clips, quick passing, one-touch passing even at times, moving the ball, finding an extra player, very simple goals. If you watch Yoshi, you know. I love the dribble, love the wiggle, trying to cook. That has to be a separate video if you want a tutorial on that. But the main thing being, we can pass, we can dribble, we can transition. You can do all sort of things in your attack, and you have the space. I'm not the type of person that's sitting there switching the ball 60 times. You're never going to see that from me. Don't play that way. You can try it, but for me, that's not the way I play the game. Another quick disclaimer, yes, having a better team definitely can help you, but overall, I promise you, we've used all different kinds of teams. We stream our games all live on Twitch. I get made fun of all the time the whole year for not upgrading my team. We went 20-0 on 4 accounts Prem Tots edition, not a flex, but just to show you some of the teams we used, some good players in the team, some old players in the team. Overall, you can get the job done, I promise you, with these. So 4-3-3-4. No, this is just for chemistry. I get asked about this. Chemistry. Click your left stick, set your custom tactics, and pick a slot. I'm going to pick the attacking slot. Doesn't matter which slot you pick, as long as it's just not in the balanced. Pick a slot. And now, defensive style. Balanced. When I'm loading in that game, I just want to feel it out. See how good my opponent is, how they're playing, what formation they're lined up in. Balanced. No reason to press. Maybe later in the game we can make adjustments if we're losing. Try things out, change things up. But for now, balanced. The width, 50. We know people love to run down the line and make a side pass. So this formation is relatively wide. It'll defend that. But at the same time, you have 2 central CDMs in the middle of the field. They're going to be covering for you. If you feel like for some reason you're getting beat in the middle, you can lower the width, but naturally the game clogs the middle. I think 50 is a healthy balance between the two. Depth. A lot of people like to use 71 auto depth for the auto press, I mean. Personally, manually press, right stick player switch. I'm comfortable with my players. If you're very comfortable, feel free to turn it higher, go 60s, even in the 70s. If you're not comfortable, 50, maybe lower it down to 45. You don't want to get beaten behind. I think 57 is a good balance. I'm able to press up the field without giving up too much space, in behind, just giving my opponent free through balls. 57 is a healthy balance in the middle. Now, the biggest question Yoshi always gets. Build up play, chance creation. Balance. Why don't you use direct passing? Why don't you use forward runs? Forward runs, they just run straight. They just keep going in behind. Too predictable. Balanced, unpredictable. If I want to send the player in behind, click L1, click LB. Want to call him short? Click R1, click RB. Directed runs. I made a video on that. You can use all those things if you need to. Player locks even. Balanced gives you different options. They'll stay central. They'll run diagonally. They'll get in behind. If you do the same thing every time and you play a good player, they know exactly what to expect at all times and becomes easy to guard. You can use manual runs, take players in certain positions or send them on certain runs like I've said. So for me, balanced. If you're comfortable with direct passing though, feel free to use that. Try it. See how those runs work for you. Now, for the width, I'm rocking 50. The thing with the 4-2-2, and I'm going to talk about this later when we get to the instructions for it, the outside attacking mids, which I refer to as wingers usually, will come in centrally at times. If this bothers you, put the width up. I know some people that put this all the way up to 100, but for me personally, I'm okay with them being wide sometimes, centrally sometimes. Again, unpredictability. If you want them to stay wide all the time, may as well just play 4-4-2, maybe even 4-2-4. they can stay more wide in those, copy the rest of the tactics the same. But for me, 4-2-2, unpredictability, the wingers can kind of switch between the two. I'll show you this more in a little bit. Players in the box, 5. If I want more players, I can just send someone on a run or manually grab them and take them forward. Corners, 2. Free kicks, 2. I don't know how to cross. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm not good at corners. Maybe someone's got to teach me this. For me, 2 and 2, it keeps enough people forward in the attack and enough people back so that you're not getting countered. But if you play it short or cross it in, there's still enough people in the box to create an attacking opportunity. So, 4-2-2, time to get into the instructions. I'm going to show you guys every little detail with in-game footage now. Stay central for the striker and stay central for the other striker. If you would like, you can put one of them on get in behind and stay forward if you want like a constant get in behind outlet pass. But I'm going to show you guys, even with them both being stay central, trust me, they will still find that space. Sorry for the quick edit there. The camera froze, but listen. Trust me, they'll find that space without the tactic. 4 things I want you to listen up to here with the strikers now. Number 1, quick passing between the 2 strikers. You find one striker and you can work off of one another to find space. Within that first touch or two, I'm already looking at the other striker in the space. Very effective. When you play quick like that, it'll throw people off and they'll always be looking to find a little bit of area or space for you to just exploit. Don't have the tactic on getting behind the instruction. We find that space. Really, really easy. Works all the time. Quick, one-touch pass. You can use it as bait sometimes, and even times I like to do similar to the first clip of the strikers we showed, where you pass it back and forth a few times. Keep your opponent guessing a little bit. Again, getting in behind. We don't have the tactic or instruction on. It works, I promise you, as you're seeing here. Now, big thing number 2. You will get these 2v1 opportunities all the time. One, people move their players out of position all the time. But even when they're not doing that, you will get chances where one guy's trying to guard both strikers since they're staying centrally. And they will have to guess between you shooting or passing. Shooting or passing. And a lot of times, they end up not even picking one or the other, which just leads to really, really simple goals all the time. Again, find your striker, like we said in the first option. Work off one another. Score an easy goal. Number 3, delayed run. You'll see Cruyff made a delayed run here. You'll see it really, really good here with Mia Hamm. Finding that space between the center back and the wing back or outside back, whatever you want to call it. Finding that space, really good. I love that. Very clear-cut chances. That's number 3. This is just a little thing. Just because we have stay central on, they will still go and find space on the winger strikers. It's not a 100% tactic like where they'll never go wide. Sometimes I'll manually grab the player and take them to the wing, and then the winger or the outside attacking mid will come in centrally to find space to create a chance, such as in this example. Get the ball with Mbappe, I take space wide, and the person that was originally wide finds space in the center. As you're going to see, we find that space between the center back and the winger there, and the outside back, excuse me. Now, number 4, Yoshi's favorite part, dribbling. We want to wiggle, we want to cook, find the striker in the box. You can just cook. With the strikers, you can still work off one another. If they, start second man pressing you or doing a double team, you often have that little extra pass as you saw in the last clip. And sometimes you can just kind of cook and just do your thing. That's one of my favorite things to do. Obviously, that's just a little bonus. So remember, number 1, quick passing between the 2 strikers. Number 2, 2v1 opportunities. Number 3, late run, delayed run, finding that pass between the center back and the wing back or outside back. And number 4, just cook. I cooked. I'm not gonna lie, I cooked on that one. Now, outside attacking mids, aka my wingers. Come back on defense, get into the box for cross. Now, this is what I was talking about earlier with the 50 width and paying attention to them cutting in centrally. I want you to pay attention to 2 things. 1, first of all, you just have the side pass, actually. So 3 things. 1, run down the lines, side pass, side pass. Very simple. Side pass, you can either shoot it or find another side pass. The second thing I want you to pay attention to is when the wingers are cutting in centrally, such as this example, both of my wingers came in centrally to find space. And the third thing, all of these happening kind of together, is where that winger finds that diagonal run between the outside back and center back, as you're seeing here. Again, this is going to happen in almost like all the time this happens, where if you wait enough time, they're playing centrally here, but sometimes you'll just be taking the ball, you'll be looking for a pass, and they'll find that space really, really nicely in and around the box. I'll show you some in the build-up play where we're more closer to the half field, but when you're around the box, I'm patient. I waited for Pina, who was my attacking mid, and like here, best, and they come into that space between the center back and the outside back / wing back. All the time, the space is open. Super, super nice. You're going to see again, just keep exploiting that space, finding that extra pass, just waiting a second, boom, diagonal run. Very, very, very nice. Now, when I'm saying centrally, Pina's my lamb, and look where she is on the field. She makes a nice looping overlap run. Very helpful. Watch Hansen. This is my ram. Center of the field, creates an easy chance. This leads to overloads, where some of these clips you're going to notice, the outside back is actually guarding nobody because the outside attacking mid has come centrally, and it gives you these opportunities. A nice little run here by Pina, you can see, instead of standing all the way wide, it gives you easy passing chances. It's really, really nice. Like I said, watch the left back. He's going to be guarding nobody in a second here. So much space for me. Hansen came centrally. I love using this. You find space all the time. You'll see, gives you that almost like a central cam and two strikers almost type of formation that gets created. My left DM, stay back, cut passing lanes, cover center. This is the stay back, more defensive. The right one, same settings, cut passing lanes, stay back while attacking, cover center, but the big thing, deep lying playmaker. What is this? Basically, it means your outside center mid will look to be a passing option and give you somebody like as always having an attacking threat. So you're going to see, I'm getting pressed. My Bruno steps back, gives me a passing option. Now, as you're going to see, going down the wing, now this is going to set us back up to like with our wingers, come centrally. We're able to just, find that little inside pass, both of my attacking mids. Now, again, pay attention here. I like this clip for an example. See how Bruno comes behind me? Then he ends up cutting into the box as he realizes where I am and the pressure and where the opponent is. It's almost like, again, getting pressed gives you an attacking option. Very simple, very easy, gives you a person to pass to, especially helpful when people are always pressing all the time. You can see Bruno is part of this play for like 3-4 passes before we just go to our side pass, and we find that outside mid between the wing back and center back, like I keep mentioning. Again, remember, that deep lying playmaker is on stay back, but essentially that's your box-to-box player. So you're going to see, watch the run Mazri just made there. If you didn't see that, go back, watch it again. Delayed run finds the space. Really, really helpful. Gives you that attacking pass. Again, Bruno almost playing out wide in this situation. He ran, gives me a passing opportunity. I attack the space. Very, very easy chances. Again, he's on stay back. And some of these clips will make it look like they're almost overly running forward. I tried to cook here. But they're not just going to be running into the box. They're not on balance. They're on stay back. If you want your player to really, really, really attack all the time, feel free. But a lot of times, as you're seeing here, I'm just taking the player forward in certain situations. Now, the second thing I want you to pay attention to with the mids here, having someone as a recycle option and as someone that when you win the ball back, a quick transition. So if I win the ball back, quick transition, find a striker's feet. Here, recycle it to the center mid. Try to find a pass to one of the front four. Typically, we want to find the striker as fast as possible. Again, recycled it, find it back to the striker, a few quick passes, and as you can see, just leads to very simple chances. Obviously, Yoshi had to we want to be 100% chance there. But you can see, pass it back, find the striker on the recycle opportunity, leads us to a tap and go. So with my center mids, typically looking for three things. Deep lying playmaker, as you saw, Benmati makes a very nice run there. Give me an attacking option. Number 2, win the ball back, find a quick outlet pass, try to get the ball to one of my strikers, and launch our transition as fast as possible. You're going to see quick player switch, win the ball, I look for my attacker, quick transition, and then number 3, having someone to recycle it. So sometimes you can go back to a midfielder and then look for a forward pass after that. You don't have to go forward on every single pass right away, but those are the 3 things we like to look for. Again, go over it. Deep lying playmaker, attacking option, win the ball back and have somebody to just quickly transition with. And 3, having someone to recycle the ball to. Sorry, my camera's cooked, but outside backs, wing backs, stay back while attacking. This does not actually mean they're staying back while attacking. I'm going to show you in game. As you can see here, Rolfo, my left back, she's going forward. She wants the ball, creates a very simple chance because the big thing is they're not expecting it. So sometimes I'll send them on a run or get the ball with them and just run up the pitch, find that space myself. I do this all the time. It leads to one, your opponent not expecting it because typically they're on stay back. But two, you get these imbalances where you have the winger and the outside / wing back going forward. If we go back to earlier in the video where we said our attacking mids are sometimes going centrally, leaving that space out wide, that's a perfect opportunity to allow your wing back, outside back to go forward. A lot of the times, the players that we have in these positions are becoming crazy and way better, really good on the ball. I'm even using Cafu in some of these clips. A lot of the times, you're just finding an easy side pass, as you're seeing here, just to create a chance. But in some of the chances, I'm actually scoring with my Rolfo or somebody, Davies even, stuff like that. That happens all the time. Mainly, you're just using it as another attacker to be a passing option to create a quick imbalance in the attack. But they're on stay back. You can trigger them on a run by clicking L1 or LB, or you can just pass the ball to them, run forward, and just attack the space yourself. I do that a lot. Like I'll win the ball, and then I'll just launch forward with the player. Do that all the time. As you're going to see, I believe it's in this next clip here, I attack the space from the wing after I win the ball back, which is what I was just mentioning. So, don't be afraid to go forward. With your CDMs being on stay back anyways, you will have enough coverage. It's not like you're being stuck with only your center backs or getting countered or something like that. If you aren't comfortable with that and you feel like your defense is really struggling, maybe just keep them back. Don't naturally bring them forward or send them on a run. But for me, I think it helps create a little bit of variety in your attack. Not like I do it every single play, but here and there definitely helps with creating some opportunities. Here you can see send them on a run because my Jorginho in this case was playing a little bit more central. Leads to simple passes. We find that diagonal run that I mentioned earlier. Center backs, don't touch them, stay back. And the goalie comes for crosses. Don't do sweeper keeper because the goalies, when you bring them out too much, they are useless. Not good. Hopefully this video gave you a good idea in depth of all the things in the 4-2-2, why it's viable, some of the things to look for. As you can see, quick passing, the diagonal runs, transitioning from the defense all the way into the attack in just a few passes, having the opportunity to wiggle, which is what Yoshi loves to do as always, finding those wingers in central positions that create overloads, little things like that. Let me know what other videos you guys want to see. If you want to see full gameplay, I can drop that. If you made it this far, let me know. Comment wiggly. Tell me what you want to see. I'll be more than happy to help you guys out. Like I said, live on stream every single day on Twitch. Link in the description below. And let me know how these tactics worked for you. Neymar, so wiggly. Stay wiggly, guys. Stay wiggly.